Hey, welcome back. So here we are. We're going to animate our train on our track. And again, I'm going to go back to my nifty way of getting to the front, which is really the back. I made the back of the train. The reason why I did this is because to animate it, we need to do some things here. The first thing I need to do is I need to put in an angle constraint between the back of the train and the back of the track. That's another angle constraint between the back of the train and the back of the track. So let's go ahead and put in that angle constraint, but not yet. I'm sorry. First thing I got to do is put in a flush constraint between the back of the train and the back of the track. Now I am back on the very beginning of the track. But as soon as I do that, I don't want to apply. I want to cancel that. But that brought the train to where I needed it to be. Now I will put in that angle constraint I talked to you about. So I want to put in an angle constraint between the XZ plane and the back of the track. And make sure that's a 2-angle constraint. And hit apply. That angle constraint now is there. So to test it, I want to go back to my home view, move in the middle here, and I'm going to show you what I can do. Let's change that angle, right? Let's change that angle to 30 degrees. And you see down here in the bottom corner, I'm changing it to 30 degrees. I hit enter and watch what happens in the wheels. They move, right? So now I want to change it to 90 degrees. And now you see I have some interference. To be honest with you, I'm going into the track. So we have a problem here, and that problem can be resolved by going back to that mate that says 0.2 and changing that back to 0.4 and hitting the green arrow and hitting OK. And now the follower there should be just on top of the track when it's down there at 90 degrees. So now let's change that angle constraint to 120. Watch it move, and so it moves back around. So again, we know that this is working. And now we're going to hit 0 here. Now we want to try something. I want to try this thing called I want to put that flush mate back here again. I want to flush the back of the train to this, but I don't want that. I want this to be parametric. I want it to change. So in order to do that, I need to go up into manage, and I need to go to f of x parameters. And that angle constraint that I just put in at the very bottom is the last thing I did at 120 degrees. I left it there on purpose so I knew what it was. I'm going to, instead of calling that D44, I'm going to call that C. And hit done. Nope, won't let me do that. Instead of calling it D44, I'm going to call this drive. and I'm going to hit done. That it liked. So I'm also going to go into edit, and I'm going to click on this little extension arrow, and here I'm going to name it drive. Edit, extension arrow, I'm going to name it drive. So it shows up as drive on my relationships. My final constraint then is to link the drive to this flush constraint I'm now going to put on the back of the train to the back of the track. I hit apply only after I put in my equation. Now we know that the diameter of the wheel is equal to 2.25 inches. And we need to multiply that by pi 3.14 UL. And we're going to now multiply that by drive divided by 360 DEG, degrees. When it turns black, that means that we were successful in applying the mathematics to this constraint. So now I hit apply, and now I go back to my home, and we are ready to try this out. First thing I'm going to do is set my angle degree to 0 and watch what happens. 0 degrees, and it moves to the back. Now I want to go ahead and right click on drive, and then left click where it says drive. I'm going to move this over here so you can see it better. And I'm going to go from 0 to 360 degrees. Okay? And it's going to go really fast. And I'm going to play it, and it goes really fast. And it goes to the end of the track. So you notice it's not going really fast at all, actually. It's going really slow. And the reason is because if I click on this, it's going at 1 degree. It's stopping at every 1 degree interval. I want to speed that up if you go to 10. And hit OK. And now I'll go back again to show you how to do this. Go click on drive, right click on drive, go click left click on drive, reset, and then hit play. And that's about the speed I want it to go. Now you notice 360 degrees takes the train about 12 inches. Now when you want to go back, you just do it that way, and it goes backwards, it goes forward, it goes backward. Play with the play and reverse, right? These are things you know. This will go an increment at a time, so you can animate it slowly. This will take it all the way to the end. This will take you all the way to the beginning. So now that you learn to do that, the only thing left to do is extend the track. And that is my last video.